Taking a live look there at the Fox 5 studios this morning. Since we're playing this song, I guess we're going to be discussing some adult material this morning. So if you have sensitive little ones in the area, we're not going to be getting too crazy, but we are going to be talking about some stuff. So if you want to move them out of the room, might be a good idea. So do men prefer blondes or brunettes or redheads? This has been an age-old question for quite some time, and now apparently we have some answers according to a couple of new studies that recently came out, and here to talk about it is Dr. Rose Hartzell, sex therapist at Alvarado Hospital. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. So, okay, so there's this list that's been compiled of like the top 9 things that men love best, right?
Yes.
And we're going to go through right now what they love best. And number 1 on this list, according to this research that they've done, is the color red. Men love the color red.
Right. So the brain reacts differently to different colors. And we've known this for years. If you go to a fast food restaurant, there's lots of orange, it makes you hungry. So red actually stimulates the adrenal glands and raises blood pressure. So if you're trying to go out on the town and you're trying to decide between a black dress and a red dress, a little red dress is always going to be.
Always go with the red.
Right.
Now, does that count with red hair? Or
we'll get to hair later.
We'll get to hair later. Don't jump the gun. We'll wait on that. I'm really curious about that. Okay, number 2 on the list of turn-ons for men is, I'm surprised by this, cuddling.
Right. The Kinsey Institute came out with a study that men who are in satisfying relationships actually had cuddling more in their relationships. And there's lots of different reasons for this. Perhaps it's because they mostly get their physical affection from their women. You don't see guys hugging each other as often as you see women doing. Or it could be that their partner is just more physically affectionate in general, which might lead to more satisfaction in other areas of the physical relationship. Well, I was going to say, in
my opinion, I think they like the cuddling because they're hopeful that it will lead, you know, to other things, right? Yes, I'm getting the thumbs up from some people. Camera, I won't name any names, but yes, I'm just saying. Okay, number 3 on the list, big surprise, that men, according to this very scientific research, they love breasts.
Yeah, big surprise.
Right.
So in this study in particular, they showed that men look at women's breasts more than they do any other body part. They also look at the breast before they look at the face.
What?
But the good news for the woman out there is it doesn't matter what size. And it just makes sense in terms of an evolution. If you look at evolution, breasts represent femininity, they represent fertility, and so those could be a lot of reasons why men are attracted to.
Before the face, though? Before the face?
I don't know, Raul. You tell me.
We got men in the studio. We could bring them in on this discussion. No? You don't want to? Okay, number 4 on this list. This is fascinating to me. Sexy news anchors.
Right.
Really?
This was 2 studies. 2 studies that came out of Indiana University show that men who watch the news with sexy news anchors don't remember as much as if the news anchor wasn't. So you might have to dumb things down for the men in the room.
She just said that. She just said it. But is it that they prefer that?
Well, they're paying more attention to the visual cues than the verbal cues.
Okay.
And so it's hard for them to do both. So they had them take tests after they.
And they weren't retaining the information.
They just weren't retaining it as well.
That's interesting.
When there was a sexy news anchor.
Female. Okay,
sexy
it's all
news
female.
Anchor.
Okay, number 5 on this list, which I actually love, the fact that this is on the list, marriage. That's a big turn on for men.
And that's a misconception. Men and women have the same amount of wanting to get married. And quite frankly, it's ironic that we often say that men don't want to get married because they actually benefit more from marriage than women do, just in terms of health benefits. And this can be because sometimes men or women are taking care of men when they're married. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, that totally makes sense. Okay, number 6. I'm surprised by this one on this list. That the big turn on for men is showing off. I'm assuming a woman who shows off.
No, this is men show off.
Men who other men show off. And they like that?
They like to show off.
Okay, just in general.
And this is also not a surprise.
Okay.
If you just look in the parking lot outside, you see what kind of cars that guys are driving. It's similar to a way a peacock does it in nature, in that men
That's hilarious.
men like to attract women through showing off. So it could be a Rolex or whatever. They like to show off to attract their female partners.
That's true. Okay, number 7 on the list, pumpkin pie.
So there is a relationship, there's a strong relationship between odor and the brain.
Okay.
And clearly odor is related to sexual response, and for some reason the scent pumpkin pie has been connected, and this isn't just in humans. Yeah, they've found it in rodents as well, that there's a better sexual response when they smell certain things. I think it's pumpkin pie and lavender for men are the most, and licorice, the scent of licorice for women. So perhaps it's because people have good memories.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. You think of like comfort and
but then again,
warmth.
Yeah, some animals also have the same response. So.
Okay, number 8 on our list today, the top things that turn on men. No tears.
No
This is number
tears.
8.
Yes. So when a woman cries, and it's because of something sad, so not just like tearing because their contacts are dry or something, but there's a certain chemical that's released with those tears, and men can actually smell it, not on a conscious level, but in an unconscious level. And when that happens, their testosterone decreases, and they're less sexually aroused or attracted to the opposite sex. And if you think about this in terms of evolution as well, that makes sense because it's allowing, if a woman is in a state where she needs comfort and not someone to be coming on to her, that's helping them to do that.
Okay,
so,
that makes sense. Number 9 on our list, which I take issue with. Number 9 on the list is brunettes. Men love brunettes. Over the other colors?
And I would disagree, because I think that you're a brunette.
Oh, we're making this all about me now. Let's analyze my haircut.
An auburn brunette. But yeah, there's a study done. 60% of men prefer brunettes to blondes.
Okay.
And this could also, it depends on who, if they're looking for a brunette to marry or versus blondes or different kinds. And this is also just in the United States, so it could be differently other places.
Right.
But for some reason, brunettes are supposed to be more dependable and down to earth in terms of their perceptions of them.
Okay, so. Interesting stuff. Fascinating. Thank you so much for this.
Thanks
we really appreciate it. If you want to contact Dr. Rose Hartzell, you can do that at San Diego Sexual Medicine at Alvarado Hospital. The number is up on your screen right there. We've also put a link on our website, fox5sandiego.com. You can go there right now and click the Scene On tab. Raul, I'm curious your thoughts of the scientific findings of what males like. What did you think? Yes? No? Agree?
You're curious about my thoughts?
I'm curious. Let's go through numbers 1 through 9.
How dumb do you think I am?
I'm just kidding.
You just freaked out the producers. Like, no,
I know.
no,
Steph goes,
please.
no.
Don't worry about it. I'm not going to touch that with the 10-foot pole. Don't even worry about it.
No, I'm just overall your thoughts.
It was fine.